Hey everybody, here we are. I'm Josh Dickey, the Mashable Entertainment Editor with Kara Warner. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. We are streaming live from the world premiere of the Avengers Age of Ultron at the Hollywood and Highland Center. Behind us is the Dolby Theater, where we soon will be seeing the film for the first time. And, well, at least most of the cast will be seeing the film for the first time. Kara, you and I we've already seen this movie.
We did. We got a sneak peek. Obviously, we're not going to spoil it, but we can tease some of our favorite parts.
This is a spoiler-free live stream for the most part, unless the cast comes up here and wants to say something. But
yeah,
that's largely up to them. We're going to have all kinds of people from the film, cast members, possibly Joss Whedon, maybe some producers, some folks from S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe some folks from Ant-Man. We're going to show you some clips from the film that came out this morning, and we're going to have some stuff to say about it ourselves.
Definitely.
Right?
I have a lot of thoughts.
So, speaking of a lot of thoughts, your first impressions of Age of Ultron, what did you think?
Over the top is not the right descriptor because that could be a little negative, but the action in this movie, you don't think it could be topped every time another Marvel movie comes out. The technology gets better, the stunts get better, but there are three battle sequences in this film that I've never seen anything like it before.
There's a couple set pieces in this movie that truly will blow your mind. Like, you've got to be on point when you're watching this movie. You can't go in there tired. You can't go in there, distracted, thinking about what's going on at home. Like, you got to be looking at the screen to catch all the action that goes on, which means, you got to see it 4 or 5 times to really get it all.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know about you, but the audience I saw it with, very reactive. Everyone was laughing, and sometimes you miss, especially the banter. Joss Whedon and his banter. He does that so well. And the characters, sometimes you miss the jokes because people are laughing. So 4 or 5.
There are tons of awesome beats in the movie where it's like there's something that's going on that's goofy or weird, or that maybe doesn't quite connect, or they're like being self-referential where they completely nail it down. Like, they ice any doubt out of your mind that they know exactly what's going on. And that's just the brilliance of Joss's script. I mean, he loves to do that self-referential stuff, that meta stuff is really his style. Yeah. And it's loaded with it.
Yeah.
It's also loaded with action, incredible action from the very minute the movie starts until the very end. It's not like I feel like with Avengers, they had to take some time to kind of get things warmed up a little bit.
They had to assemble.
Yes.
They don't have to do that
assembled, they're just going full blast right from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody gets involved this time.
Yeah, very true. Well, I think another thing that's interesting is you don't necessarily have to have seen all of the movies to have seen this sequel. Obviously, you need to see Avengers. I mean, most of the people going in are Marvel fans, super fans like we are, so you will have seen them all. But it stands on its own with Avengers.
The 10 to 12 people who didn't see Avengers might struggle a little bit with this one, but the rest of us are going to do just fine.
Yes.
But you're right. You don't need to have seen all the Thor movies, both of the Thor movies, or all those other, films, which of course I've seen multiple times, and many of us have. It certainly helps. It doesn't hurt to read the comic books, maybe also. But if you don't have all that stuff, you're still going to have a lot of fun with this film. Just in particular, the way that the characters begin to interact with each other. Now that they know each other, they've been hanging out for a while. In fact, I think the highlight of the whole movie is not an action set piece at all. It's the party. And we've seen a little bit of that now, so I'm not completely spoiling it, but
not at all.
They're chilling out there. They're celebrating their victory. They're raising a glass to the success of their first outing as a team.
Yeah. And there's that scene. I think they Comic-Con or WinterCon or the clip of everyone trying to lift Thor's hammer, which is very entertaining.
That is indeed the one.
Yeah.
And again, one of the characters gets a little wibble out of it.
Yeah.
Just a little wibble. Which, does not make Chris Hemsworth all that crazy, but it is truly, and I won't say anything more about it.
Yeah.
Because
I would just add that the other thing that you can expect from a Marvel movie is world building, and while Age of Ultron is its own chapter, Marvel fans will see little hints of what's to come. So you'll see, what movies we have coming down the slate. Civil War is next, so there are little hints of how that might play out.
They are laying tracks for certain things, for certain characters that we're ready to see, and some that we know that are coming and getting their own movies. For instance, Captain Marvel is getting her own movie soon. Thank goodness. That made me very excited. Black Panther is getting a movie.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty great. And the Inhumans as well, though that really isn't tied into this one so much. I think that's more coming off the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show.
Yeah.
Which, again, we're going to get some S.H.I.E.L.D. folks coming through here very soon.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any Avengers come up the carpet yet.
No,
I can see Stan Lee, Stan the Man himself.
Oh, he is here.
Excelsior.
So good.
Is right there. Just steps away. Hopefully
he has
we'll
so
get a
much
chance to
energy,
talk to him.
too. He always has so much energy. I will say that the most exciting thing I think we've seen, someone from Hasbro was here giving out free Hulk hands, and the crowd behind us went wild.
Man.
We did
This
not get a
woman
pair
lost her
ourselves.
mind over there. She was screaming her head off,
Yeah.
and she actually got a pair of the Hulk hands. So if you want Hulk hands, be prepared to scream your head off.
Yeah, we'll see some maybe up on here. But yeah, Stan's here. There is a crowd gathered on both sides of the street. They shut down Hollywood Boulevard, which for native Los Angelinos, that is a problem, but people here are used to it. Plenty of people visiting the area are camped out. Lots of Marvel equipment we see. There are lots of costumed heroes. You know Hollywood Boulevard, you see the people trying to get photos with tourists. There were lots of Captain Americas. I saw a lot of Thors.
Cosplayer's going to cosplay, right? I mean, that's all I can really say about that. Yeah, I saw a couple of Captain America. I actually saw Captain America who was dressed full regalia, head to toe, and is here with his son. And his son was dressed as Rogers when he was just Private Rogers. You get the reference?
That's so cute.
Big and little.
That's cute.
It was pretty effective.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
cute.
you can incorporate your kids into your cosplay. I guess you want to go ahead and do that because get them started early.
Yeah.
Then it seems less weird when they go to Comic-Con for the first time.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Indeed.
We could have cosplayed. I suppose we could have cosplayed.
You know, there are some journalists who do cosplay.
Yeah.
In fact, there's some of them right behind me.
Yeah, you're right.
I might go there next time. I wore the purple tie
I
for Hawkeye because Hawkeye in this film he gets a little bit of comeuppance in this movie, right?
Yes. I mean, that's the other thing we get. I mean, hopefully the actors will help us touch on that, but you learn more about the Avengers and kind of them as individuals and where they were before they joined and kind of what life they might have had outside of
There are a couple quiet moments in the movie when we get to know the people and the characters a little bit. Certainly Hawkeye's one of them. You know, in the Avengers, he got the short end of the arrow.
Yeah, absolutely. He has some new arrows in this one, though. Watch out for the new arrows.
He does have some new arrows,
up.
And he uses them in new and interesting ways. At least in one case that I can think of.
Yes, very true.
But it's one of those things where if you're watching the movie and you just like blink for a second, you should actually get those clockwork orange things that keep your eyes open like this, because it's the only way you're going to catch everything. But listen, we can always go a second, third, and fourth time.
Second, third, home video release is usually faster than you think.
That's true. They're coming around fast these days. That is true. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy I've seen at home now at least a half a dozen times.
Nice. I think I've watched that movie more than any other Marvel movie. Followed by the Avengers.
That's a film I like to put on and think it's going to be in the background.
Yeah.
And then
you get lost.
Suddenly, smash cut to me on the couch and 2 hours have gone by.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans together just a couple days ago for part of the press for the movie, and they could not heap enough praise upon Guardians. They were huge fans. So I just hope, at least Thor is really close to that world to cross into Guardians somehow. Sure, it's far away, but
I have no doubt that when we get into Infinity Wars, and I've read the Infinity comic book series from a couple of summers ago, the Guardians factor very heavily into it, that we are going to see eventually the Guardians and the Avengers in the same battle, in the same frame, maybe even interacting with one another.
Yeah, so much banter. There's so much possibility for banter.
If you're just joining us, this is Mashable's live stream. We're the exclusive media partner for the Avengers Age of Ultron world premiere here at the Hollywood and Highland Center. We also have Brian Hernandez over here. He's on Periscope and Meerkat, working the dual selfie stick, if you can see that at some point. The dual selfie stick is like, it's like the VHS and beta thing going on until one of these streaming services takes over. But Brian, you'll recognize him from live streams past and red carpets past. He's manning the selfie stick for us tonight. So we're all over the place here.
Yeah, we are. We're all over. We're ready. We're ready for talent.
We're ready for some folks to come and join us up here. I still haven't seen an Avenger yet.
No.
I'm waiting to see my first Avenger, which is really
lots of
all
fans
we came
of Avengers.
for. Yes. Indeed,
Yeah.
yes. The
Yeah.
fans are.
Yeah.
We'll know. You'll know when there are Avengers on site because we'll start to hear screaming coming from that
Yeah.
direction, and it will be loud and it will be persistent. It'll be like
Yeah.
a wave of sound as they make their way up the red carpet here. By the way,
Yeah.
which is going into the Dolby Theater this time around.
Yeah.
Like on the other side of the cameras, you can't see them, but the El Capitan, which is Disney's proprietary theater,
Yeah.
it's the home to all their premieres. I saw the Captain America premiere there. I saw
Lucky,
the Thor
I did
premiere
not.
there. We saw the original Avengers premiere there. But this one is too big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Not speaking of huge, but we have our first guest.
Am I supposed
Yes.
to move over
Welcome.
to a mark? Or do
You're
I-
on your mark.
Welcome.
You
You're-
couldn't
you're
be more on the
perfect
mark.
right here.
Okay. Hey.
I'm just gonna get out of it. We apologize for the sun, but it's
I'm-
hopefully gonna go down.
I might even get a tan for once in my life.
Yes, it looks good.
Thanks.
Welcome to Mashable's live stream.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What do you make of this huge event?
This is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I was here for, I did the music for Thor and
Yeah.
Dark World and Iron Man
Yeah.
3, and we had a big extravaganza, but this is hard to believe, but it's actually a larger event.
Yeah.
All the fans, and
Yeah.
it's incredible.
For those who don't immediately recognize him, this is Brian Tyler,
Yes,
a
hi.
wonderful composer. He did
Yeah.
the music for this movie.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just excited to see it
Yeah.
on the big screen like this.
Yeah.
You know, we've been working on it for, I don't know how long. It's been a couple years.
How early do you get to see footage, and under what kind of lock and key does it come to you?
Marvel's incredibly, secretive, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to keep as much as you can hidden for as long as you can, story-wise. But I saw the scenes in person at first. I went over in England. I was in England, and I saw some of the action live as it went down as Joss Whedon was shooting it, and that was before I saw any footage. So I kind of felt like I had been inside the movie, which often doesn't happen. You know?
Were you already getting music ideas as you were
Yeah.
seeing the action go down on the set?
Yeah, they blew up a piano for real. They blew up a piano in one of this. I don't know. I don't think it's in the movie, but I saw it.
Did you have a mic on that? Was there a mic on that
There was
exploding piano?
I kept one of the little tiny piano keys that had kind of, it was like a wrecked thing. But yeah, you do get music ideas as you're watching things
Yeah.
in person. It's a different perspective. It's like jumping into the movie. So
I want to add I am nerdy about scores. Sorry about that, everyone. But
Yeah.
there is a moment where you do bring in a little choral
Yes.
music at the end. I'm just wondering how you decided to kind of when to bring that in and how to thematically layer it in.
the character of Vision is so mysterious and kind of ethereal.
Yeah.
That somehow the choral element works with him.
Yeah.
Most of the score we did with the London Philharmonia, which we recorded at Abbey Road, and I conducted it there. But then we thought voices for Vision might be really interesting, and it's such a good character. I love his character, and so hopefully it'll be melded forever together, that kind of sound with his character.
Absolutely. Are there individual themes that people should listen for again in this
Oh
one?
yeah.
Okay.
There's Hulk, Captain America. There's the Iron Man and Thor themes that I'd previously written for the last two films, it goes all down the line. There's Strucker, and there's Ultron. Of course, has a big theme that's very creepy and weird and kind of disjointed, but almost sympathetic at the same time.
Sure.
So.
How many more Marvel movies are you contracted for? Or is it one? Is it one at a
Yeah,
time?
I mean, you just kind of go with the flow.
Okay.
The movies keep going, and I'm a huge fan of Marvel ever since I collect comics and all that, and so it's great working with these people that really have the comic true to its heart, and these movies reflect that.
Yeah.
So I want to keep going as long as I can.
Well, we hope to see more of your music.
Thank you.
The action scenes in this movie are so kinetic and frenetic and frankly symphonic in their own way because there's so many elements in the cameras tracking around. And are you trying to match up anything with the things that you're seeing on the screen, just beat for beat? I mean, how closely are you trying to marry those things?
The action is crazy in this movie, so you have to have the music kind of go right along with it and kind of amp it up. But at times there would be things going on, like especially Hulk, he would smash things. Like the Hulk smash stuff, I would almost let him be the percussion and then have the orchestra kind of around it, and you'd marry the two together. So he was almost like my drummer whenever he was in the scene.
So you had you had elements of the sound bleeding into
the score.
Of the score. That's
yeah,
really cool.
Music and sound is inextricably tied in these Marvel big films, and so you have to really pay attention to that.
You heard it here first, guys. The Hulk on the bass drum.
Yeah, it's for real. For real, he is. Yeah, he's got some.
Don't
he's
tell
got some
Ruffalo
guts.
that because we don't need him getting involved
No.
with the ASCAP and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to get it. I don't know. Maybe Hulk will get some royalties. I don't know. Where is Ruffalo?
We'll have to ask him.
He's so mellow. He
Yeah.
won't care. He'll
Yeah,
be like,
he's
no, that's
awesome.
cool. I like playing bass drum. I'll just do it for the fun of it.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you so much for being our
Cheers.
first visitor.
Thank you.
Great.
I hope for more.
Thank you.
More Marvel from you.
Yeah, I hope so. Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you.
Congratulations.
We'll
Thank
take
you
it
so
from
much.
you. Thank you.
All right.
I
was
love
fun.
composers. I
Yes.
hope I wasn't too gushy. 'Cause
She was telling me beforehand how nerdy she is for composers.
I
so
do.
I'm glad. I'm
they're
glad.
they're the people who got me through my piano lessons as a kid. John Williams.
Now there
learning
was
those
Danny
scores.
Elfman was also involved
Yes.
in this film. You know more about this than I do. What
Yeah.
was his? What was his role? How did he fit in?
Mainly, it's sort of a carryover from the first film because he also worked with Brian on the first film, so he does like the more heavy theme that you recognize, kind of from the titles and that kind of thing. But I would love for him to walk down so we could harass him about
I
it
know.
too. Because especially and with the core elements that I was talking about, you'll be able to hear it when. Well, you will hear it when you see it. But it's a nice touch when you sort of hear this added
See,
to a battle sequence. It's really
You
great.
pay close attention to that stuff, or
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like I'm too involved in the characters and the story. But
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
does every character really have their own theme? I never
They
would even
do.
thought to look for that.
They do.
That
They
is
do.
so cool. I didn't know that.
Not on all the movies, but the last two Marvel movies.
That is
yeah.
a lot. That's a lot
Yeah,
of themes.
It's a lot of themes.
to go through
Yeah.
in any given movie. So it's not like they're cutting away. Every time they cut to Captain
No.
America, it's da 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 da
Yeah,
da. da.
no.
It's just it's a little more subtle than
Seamless.
that.
Yeah, very subtle, seamless, and it's usually when you're getting to know the character. I feel like we have a bunch of new characters in this movie. Vision, we mentioned.
The Vision is my favorite part. If I'm thinking about just character introductions, it's my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the Vision character anyway because
Yeah.
he is, as we were told, very ethereal, very ephemeral, sort of. You don't really know exactly where he's coming from because he's just a new creation. He literally is just born right there on the screen before you. But there's something about the texture of his skin
I
and
know.
his costume and the way that his cape flows
Yeah.
that I think is really, really cool. Visually, unlike
Yeah.
any humanoid person probably you've ever seen on TV.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're just tuning in, my name is Josh Dickey. I'm the entertainment editor for Mashable. This is Kara Warner joining me here on the red carpet for the Age of Ultron premiere, the Hollywood and Highland Center. It's going to be taking place in the Dolby Theater, the big 3,400-seat Dolby Theater with the giant screen
Home
and
of the
awesome
Oscars.
Dolby Atmos. Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
home of the Oscars.
the
That's
Oscars.
right. I don't think this movie will be at the Oscars, so I think that's wrong.
The
I
visual
think-
effects will. 100%.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Visual
That's
effects
a
will be
good-
at the
Yeah,
Oscars.
absolutely it will.
Yeah.
But right here behind us, and everybody is just starting to file in now.
Yeah.
Again, still have not had an Avenger sighting.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that moment. I think they're going to come fast and furious.
Yes.
My guess is that we'll probably get a bunch of them all in here at once.
It'll all
I
happen at
bet
once.
they
We'll
run in
have
a
to
pack.
we'll have to do like 4 at a time. I did hear people yelling Anthony Mackie. So
Anthony
perhaps
Mackie.
Falcon will be joining us.
That would be a great. Hey, there's Jeff Snyder, the In Snyder, coming in behind me. How did he get in? How did he get into this thing?
That's another good side note. Because, I mean, this is a huge theater and it's a very hot ticket. I didn't get invited. Sometimes we get invited, but I don't know who made the list. Lucky fans?
Well,
Maybe some lucky fans? Lucky
There is a very
VIPs?
dark and smoky room somewhere in the back of every Hollywood studio where
Oh, yes.
the publicists get together with the executives and they decide who's in and
Yes.
who's out.
Yes. Good news is the sun is starting to set. We were a little worried it might start to scald some of our interviewees.
It was killing
That's
us there
happy.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We're
gonna
gonna.
feel
If
much
Ruffalo
better.
would have stepped up here, we would have turned into he would have turned into the Red Hulk.
Ooh, the red Hulk.
Thank you very much for that
Yes,
incredibly
yes.
nerdy setup for that incredibly
That
nerdy
is
take.
good. I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Hulk's past, present, future, so I'm very excited. There's a lot of Hulk in this movie and
There's
like
a
a tease
lot
about
of
where he might go, so those are
It's
questions
not,
for Mark.
yeah, it's not totally clear. It's not an answer that's going to satisfy those of us who are asking the question, what happens to Hulk? But he does wind
Yeah.
up in a situation.
Sure does.
That-
and yeah,
You're sort of
ambiguous situation.
like, huh, okay. But yeah, he's a huge part of this film. It's funny. This is the brilliance of Joss, frankly, and Marvel, is that I can say about any of these characters that he's a huge, or she is a huge part of the movie.
Yeah,
and there's
this
so
one
many of
especially,
them.
yeah.
I think there was some concern that with the first movie, that Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's character, was kind of out of the fray for a while there. He wasn't necessarily, not necessarily around all that much, at least in mind.
Yeah.
But different case this time.
Definitely. We learn. Hopefully, we'll get the Jeremy Renner's perspective on that. But yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a whole nother side of Hawkeye. I've always been a fan. I know people have ragged on his appearances in the movie. I loved his cameo in Thor.
Yeah,
I
it was super cool when he was up in the crane.
Maybe I just like archery. And Jeremy Renner's really good with that bow and arrow. I love it.
He is. He seems to be a natural.
Yeah.
He hits all his targets.
He really does. I mean, those that we see with CGI enhancement, maybe.
Yes.
Who knows?
Maybe he's not exactly the marksman that we see on screen, but whether he is or not,
he's very believable. I like it.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
Here comes a whole bunch of folks from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That is the whole pack.
It is about the whole cast.
Yeah, they're
We'll
all
see how many we
coming
can
in
fit
here
on this
together.
platform.
I know. Well, we would be lucky if that's the case. But
Brian, our Periscope Meerkat ambassador, is killing it right now.
I know.
If you are watching us online, you should also check out our Periscope Meerkat feeds because Brian is doing a lot of extra interviewing on the side.
Yes, Brian Hernandez holding it down on both Periscope and Meerkat at the same time. How does he do it? What kind of movie magic did we bring to bear?
Yeah.
It's just two phones mounted on one selfie
there we
stick.
have a wide shot.
There you go. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I think
It's starting to fill up in
actually
here.
Brian is talking to Claudia Kim, who has a lovely role in this movie, and we have a bunch of questions for her.
Indeed,
so
she is. Yes, indeed,
we're going to be
do.
joined by her shortly. We're just waiting for her to be available.
When her casting was announced, I remember it was sort of like vague, like she's going to be a science person.
Yeah.
But nobody really knows exactly how important a science person she was going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
In fact, she's maybe the most important science person in this particular movie.
She is, yeah. Well, we'll have her explain that because it doesn't go into spoiler territory, but she has a very key. We'll say Dr. Cho, her specific brand of science is instrumental.
Indeed.
In two characters.
That's right.
Storylines.
I was only thinking of one, but you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Can we bring her up?
Yeah.
Here she is.
Welcome.
I get my own mic.
Yes, you do.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is the Mashable live stream, by the way. There we are.
We were just trying to introduce your character. We figure you can do a little bit better job. We say she is a very specific brand of science.
Yes.
But we figure you can probably explain it in
I am the
unspoilery.
I am the human amongst the superheroes. But she's a geneticist who basically with her technology helps cure the Avengers.
Yeah. And I sort of tease that she has a big part in two character storylines. I don't know if you can say that, or just to kind of expand upon what kind of genetic science.
The technology that she has is such a rare technology, and when you have something so rare, everyone wants a piece of it.
Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Excellent. She's expertise. I know also that the movie went to Korea.
Yes.
Were you able to participate in that?
I
location?
I was there at some locations.
Right.
It was great. It was such an honor to have everyone here there in Korea.
Yeah, and I believe it was like the first time a big movie had gone to those streets.
Yeah, and also it was one of the first times that Korea was actually portrayed in that kind of way. The way it is actually high tech, all modern, and a lot of Koreans are looking forward to it. So we're all excited.
Have way better Wi-Fi than we do. I know this
pretty
for a fact.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So your character, and again, we can't. I wish I could say more. I wish I could say more about your character, but it would give too much away.
It's better that we don't.
And when you were cast, everybody was like, we sort of knew you were like a science person. But that was really all we knew. Do you expect to be around? Maybe. I mean, for the next
science is
for
important
the future,
to the Marvel
science
universe.
is a very big part of what we're doing here.
It is, right?
Yes,
more
it
and
is.
more.
All the time.
I mean, it's been such an honor, really more than I could ever ask for, and I'm going to stick to my pure intention of just enjoying this and being a part of it. And,
Have you seen the movie yet?
Not entirely.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
She gets in on the action, just so you know. She's
Yeah,
in
like-
there.
There's no doubt that you're around, and
You want to talk to
Yep,
Joss
sis-
Whedon?
Yeah, we will. We'll drop a hint. Sounds
For
good.
sure.
It sounds good. Okay, well, thank you so much for
Thank
stopping
you so
in.
much.
Enjoy
It's
the
great
film.
talking to you.
Yeah,
thanks
you
for
too,
coming
you
up.
too.
Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Well, that was fun.
She's so great in the movie. And
she
I mean,
and she is very important in the movie
Yeah.
too, more so than we ever would have been able to guess.
yeah, and I think, I mean, the science is, I'm sure someone will take apart the science, or just to kind of analyze how they inserted the geneticists into the film, but it seems very logical. The way technology is going, the way it's used in the film, it makes a lot of sense,
That's
especially how our
what's a
characters
little bit
evolve.
scary about all this.
Yeah.
Is like, is this stuff really far from the truth? And then, and for a little while they wrestle with in the film whether should we be doing this or should we not be doing it. I actually think that's a lot more noble than in real life. I think in real life we just do this stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's a little of Joss Whedon too, because he's very politically inclined to
Yeah.
put a little social messaging in there, and it's in there along with crazy over the top action.
Indeed. Yeah.
I think
So-
we're waiting behind us. There's a group of chatty individuals.
We got some SHIELD agents up in
Oh,
here
we
that
do
are about
some
to come
SHIELD
up.
agents. Yeah.
Yes,
we'll see.
indeed.
We'll see. Yeah.
And Brian is actually talking to them right now. Brian's going to take he's going to get all the good questions
I
in.
know, it really is. We're gonna be the second fiddle.
Although
That's
one
all
of
right.
these SHIELD agents is not with us anymore in the show.
Oh, I
And,
and, I'm
I
a little
know.
behind on Shield. I'm sorry.
Well,
There's so much.
we'll give him a
superhero-
proper
heroing.
send off here if we can. But
Yeah, absolutely.
that show clearly playing into the Inhumans side of things. We're getting an Inhumans movie in, I don't know, 2018 or 2019.
18.
haven't-
I should have looked at the dates. Sorry, the timeline is
Here we
there.
go.
Oh yeah. We're ready for the Shield
Speaking
agent.
of SHIELD,
Welcome. Come on
Come
up to
on
our
up.
platform. Can you? Shh. We might be getting a whole group.
what's that? Bring them up,
Come
the whole
on up,
SHIELD. Oh my
whoever
gosh,
wants
it's
to-
everybody.
whoever wants to
It's
hang with
everybody.
us.
SHIELD, gather around.
Who wants to wield the mic? You get
This
to come
is
on
an
the
awesome
platform.
SHIELD group shot right here.
Oh, I know. You guys want to get down there? You can come up. Well, I guess you don't fit on the platform. No, I never feel taller than this, but this is nice. We can cheat it like this.
You guys get a nice shout out in this movie. Have you seen it yet? Have you seen Ultron yet?
Nope. No.
It's the premiere tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I'm not going to say. I'm not saying any more than that. But it, you're not forgotten.
Have you seen it?
We
Yes,
saw it on
we got
Friday.
to see it.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw it on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You're gonna
So
love
now
it.
you know what our life is like. You can't say anything.
Kinda.
Imagine 2
I
seasons
think
of
I
that.
just did. I think there's a sniper up there about to take me out.
Is this on?
It's
This is-
on. We're live.
No, we're
we're
live.
live
This
on the
is like
internet.
live.
That's you live. It's happening.
Whoopsie daisy.
Is this what it's like on set?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I imagine.
So which?
You go ahead. I don't know if this is on. Is this
It's on. You're
you're
live.
on.
Yeah,
This
you're
is live. This is streaming to billions of people.
Billions.
We're watching right now.
The whole planet.
And it's going very well.
When you guys see an Avengers or each Marvel movie, because Shield does either it's a mention, despite it being dismantled, rebuilding, whatnot. What do you look for, and what do you hope for when you see the movies and see how Shield is referenced?
Oh, that's a
We're
hard one. I would
defending
have
these
to.
worlds.
Yes,
So we
yeah.
want to, hopefully there's a lot of respect going into that.
Yeah, we
you know
just
what I
saw
mean?
that Trip lives. That's all.
Yeah, Trip.
I feel like I'm doing your job.
I was actually.
You're doing a good job. You're hired. You're doing a great job.
I was actually kind of surprised to see you here. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, what, too soon? Too soon?
Yeah.
Should have been on the guest list. Slipped through the net. He's just my +1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Love,
no,
I
no,
love
you're
it.
good. You're good.
Yeah.
So, who's good and who's bad now? Raise your
yeah.
hand if you're a good guy now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of switching around, right?
Good, apart from Brett.
Yeah.
But he's just misunderstood.
My puns aren't that bad. Come on. Yeah, it's an interesting question. That's the whole question of
There's
season
a
2.
lot of
Who can you
duplicity
trust?
going on with this group right now,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Second season, there's so much gray, which is really a fun element to add to the show. There's no more black and white.
Dull color of grey.
Yeah, like 50
Yeah.
shades of it.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute.
50 Shades of
That's
Shield. That works. I got it. It works. 50 Shades.
This is going really well.
All right. So in your like Rainbow Land, when you see this movie tonight, what do you want to see referenced that will hopefully carry over into the show?
Grant Ward.
Come on, ask the question.
Bright colors and explosions.
That's lovely.
Spoiler alert.
Bright colors and explosions.
Just explosions. Just
Nice.
Dull-colored explosions.
It's going very well.
You're gonna.
It's going really well.
Well, it's good. Well, you might. I think your wishes, your hopes might all be granted.
Hope so.
You're gonna get a beat. You'll get a moment. You're gonna
Yeah.
like
I
it.
just
Yeah.
wonder maybe if they just had a picture in the background, or just
Yeah.
had someone kind of on their table looking at it, and then
That might happen too. You never know.
A little cutaway of that.
Nice. Well, good. Well, thank you for hanging out on our live stream.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Team
assisting with the mic.
stick around
No, so great. If you want to, you can stand on this pose. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the film. Thank you. All right.
All right. I admit I'm 2 episodes behind. What happened the last 2 episodes?
I don't know. I'm way behind.
The second
But I-
season of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great, by the way.
Yeah.
The first season ends really well. Like, it ends really
Yeah.
strong, and the
Yes.
second season is great, but I'm exactly 2 episodes behind.
Yeah, well, it's kind of fun that way. I just like to see a cast interacting in a genuine way, and they've always, every time I've encountered them on red carpets and stuff, they've always seemed to have, be legit having so much fun, which
They had
you would think it would be easy as that job, but they seem to all like
for
each
the
other.
premiere of season 2, the S.H.I.E.L.D. cast held a little like Twitter party where they invited some press,
I missed
and they all
that.
went into a theater, and we watched it on the screen, and we were supposed to tweet about it while it was happening.
Oh, yeah?
And they were tweeting more than anybody else, and they were like ragging on each other and yada yada.
That's the best part.
It was good fun.
Yeah, you gotta
It
keep
was
keep
very good
everyone-
fun.
It is good
Speaking
fun.
of that 50 Shades of Grey
oh my
reference
gosh.
that just
Oh
dropped,
my gosh.
there is
Oh, yeah, Joss
Aaron
Whedon.
and Sam Taylor
Yeah,
Johnson.
but we got a Joss Whedon sighting.
We got Joss Whedon
Joss
right
Whedon.
here on deck.
We'll see.
Joss
We'll see
Whedon.
if Joss will come up and talk to us. I
Joss
got a lot of
Whedon
questions
is
for
over
Joss.
on the Periscope and Meerkat
Yeah,
feed
yeah.
with Brian Hernandez. If you are
Yeah.
just tuning
You wanna
in,
come up?
you
Okay.
picked a good time. This is the Mashable live stream,
Yeah.
the world premiere of Avengers: Age of Ultron from the Hollywood and Highland Center here in Hollywood. It is a beautiful night. The sun has finally gone down behind us, so we're no longer melting. And Joss Whedon, the mastermind behind
Yes.
the 2 Avengers films, it feels like he is so much bigger than just 2 movies, though.
He's just the best.
When it comes to this
Yeah.
world, is about to jump on, the director
Yeah.
of
Writer
Age
and
of Ultron.
director.
Writer and director.
I don't even know how. I always when I am very lucky to speak to him, I'm very concerned about how much sleep he gets because he does
also
so much.
super prolific dancer.
Yeah. Oh.
Right?
He's such a great dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Crazy Legs Whedon.
He's like party man, getting the hype on at the dance
I
party.
think we're
but
gonna
we
get the
are
main man here.
Very excited to get him up here. There he is.
Sir.
That's for you.
For you.
No, actually, I think they're for someone else.
Oh,
Someone very pretty.
Oh, welcome.
Joss, welcome. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here,
Yes.
and I can almost hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
for the
shout- we
fans.
will-
We'll shout for you.
Yeah.
Who invited all these fans? They're ruining everything.
Yes. What do you when you encounter fans of Avengers? What is the most common question they ask you?
Oh, yeah, what does everybody always want to know?
Yeah.
Usually it's about what's next,
Sure.
who's with who, who's gonna. Everyone always wants to know if someone's gonna die because it's me. What can you tell us about, and is it true that, and also the actors. They want to know about the actors. They want to know,
Cast.
are they really as awful as we've heard? And I'm like,
So
no, it's worse. They get on set and they bully me.
Yes.
They all bully me. They're terrible.
Yeah. Was there one, speaking of, what's real, what's not, was there one plot rumor this time around that tickled you in any way that was totally wrong? Or?
There are so many wrong rumors, and it's great because, if something true gets out,
Yeah.
it's usually lost amidst so much wrong-headed stuff that we're like, okay, we'll just keep it flowing. It's very important to me that people try to come in and experience the movie the way it should be, not knowing everything that's going to happen. Some people just can't live that way anymore. But I think we still have a few surprises in store.
Yeah.
Because even if you know what's going to happen, you don't know how it's going to make you feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We talked a little bit at the junket on Friday about you used drones for this movie. This is the first film that you get to use drones for. Can you tell us what shots you used drones for? Thinking about what we might see where we can think that was shot on a drone.
The bigger action sequences, particularly the last two, one of which is in Korea, are have a lot of heavy drone use, and it's just a very different feeling because you're weaving in and around buildings and bridges and things in a way a helicopter never could and a crane never could. It's just, you feel like you're flying because you are.
You probably could have used that for the Battle of New York scene in Avengers. That would have been handy.
There were a lot of things that we had on this one that we didn't have on the first one, which is weird. The technology in 3 years changed completely.
Yeah.
What about 3D printing? I know the Vision costume, for instance, which is one of my favorite things about the movie, period, was seeing the Vision for the first time, was a 3D printed material, right?
Well, they printed out his costume, and then they did 2D layering on his face, which means they have to go in but keep the performance so that it's always all Paul, and that texture work is so delicate, and they pulled it off so beautifully.
So pretty. I want to ask you real quickly before she takes you away. You might have mentioned you were having dinner with Drew Goddard to potentially maybe discuss Spider-Man. Did you solve all of the mysteries of that next movie?
We actually solved everything.
Perfect.
And so here's how Phase 6 is going to go. No, we just ate a lot.
All right, fine. All right, well, good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Such a pleasure.
Thanks,
thank you
Josh.
for the movie.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take this from you. Thank you. You did win. You definitely did. I think we're about to talk to our two twins, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. Hello. Yes.
Yes.
We would love. Hello.
Indeed. Hello.
See you.
Quicksilver. It's the Johnson.
Hello, how's it going?
Yes, it's the Johnsons.
Taylor Johnsons.
It's Taylor Johnson.
You guys are here together. Amazing. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll go right into a Quicksilver question for you, sir.
Sure.
I know that. How did you find the movement, and how did they kind of?
How did I find the movement?
How did you find it?
Well, I pretty much ran every day, and then they sped it up, so it became a blur. But I found the movement okay. I think they probably found it okay too.
Definitely.
When you're running at that speed, or ostensibly running at that speed, is there anything?
It is dangerous.
Different that you do?
I wouldn't recommend it. You know.
Do you fist run or do you open hand run? What is your prefer? What do you prefer?
Well, actually, it's a specific technique that the special effects guys answer. They want you to do is actually a lot more real kind of, I don't know,
flowing,
contemporary dance speed running, because they want to just get more blur. Effect.
Oh, I see. So you're going a little slower maybe than you otherwise
I needed to run that fast at the end. What I did was I perfected the skid into a scene.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
it's kind of like Kramer and Seinfeld. There you are.
Yeah. I'm wondering, as a plus one of someone who enters the Marvel universe, how much do you get to know, and then how much of a burden is it to have the secret? Of not being able to say anything.
Yeah, I just, everything stops here.
Gotcha.
We have to, but also I've not seen the movie. I purposely didn't watch anything, so I'm really excited to see it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
no,
great.
it's amazing. I'm glad I'm even in it. I'm a blur, but there are moments where I stop, and then I'm in it.
Yeah.
So.
How was it? How was kind of the first day? Was there any hazing as jumping in for the Avengers?
Did they treat you okay when you first come in?
I was kind of expecting that, so it was actually kind of a bit of a letdown. I thought I'd be punked and kind of, I don't know, mistreated here and there, but no, everyone was actually really lovely. So yeah, kind of a bit of a letdown, really. Everyone's nice.
That's good.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sam, congratulations on 50 Shades. You did a great job with the
Thank
film.
you very much.
There's no doubt about it. You really made something out of it. Moving on, but that's okay. You left a great legacy for the franchise and so forth.
I hope so.
What did you think of that? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I think it was fantastic, and I think Sam had a fantastic approach to it, and it was a major challenge, and she succeeded, and it looked, phenomenal. I'm super proud,
Yeah, you definitely pulled it off. It really came off very well.
Yeah, it's as women too. I think it's so nice for us to see something, especially love scenes and that kind of thing, directed by a woman, and from that perspective. I thought that was something. I don't know if that was something you had to think about, or it was just how you wanted to shoot it.
I think it comes naturally
Perfect.
to feel sort of maybe a little more protective of those kind of scenes. Yeah.
Would you ever like to do a big action movie like a Captain
Yeah,
Marvel is
sure.
looking for
I'm
a
open to
director at some
anything.
point? Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, we know you can handle that. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And I know you have no idea what goes on in the Marvel Universe after this, but Quicksilver, he could probably pop up in a variety of ways. Are you game for kind of more Marvel action, or?
Yeah,
What
we'll
do you
see.
think?
We'll see, I suppose.
Perfect.
Never really. Kevin Feige has all the files like locked in a safe, locked
Yeah.
in another safe. I think.
Perfect.
You know, all
When
the
your
ideas are.
when
in
your
there.
sister can bend reality, your character has a bit of an advantage.
Yeah. I think you're being pulled away from us. Many more people to talk to. But
All right, great.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
the
much.
film.
Thank
Thank
you.
sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, we're about to meet Black Panther, but really Chadwick Boseman.
Oh wow,
Hello,
there he is.
sir. Hello.
What's up,
Welcome
Chad?
to
How
Mashable's
you doing,
live
man? Nice to
stream.
meet you.
Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you. I mean, that movie can't come out fast enough. even
Yeah,
though
come
you-
on, let's get it going.
You haven't even shot it yet.
When are you gonna shoot?
When am I going to shoot?
Yeah, when are you shooting Black Panther?
I can't tell you that.
Come on.
Oh, you can't tell us that.
Not soon enough
I'm here,
is the
but
answer.
I can't answer any
Okay.
questions.
Okay, all right.
It's
But
not. Well, I was gonna say it's not. You haven't seen any of this movie, right? Yeah. You haven't
Have I seen what?
Ultron, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
There's a mention of Wakanda in Ultron. It's not a spoiler to say that. But
I
I don't
heard
know if-
something about
Oh,
that.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just wondered
We
if.
get a little peek into your world in this
Yeah.
movie, just a little peek.
But the question is it still in there?
Yes, it's in the finished.
That's the thing.
It's
The
in
thing
the
about
finished, it's in the finished print. Yeah,
What
we
we-
saw
I'm
it.
here to only spread doubt.
Oh,
Question
look
mark.
at that. Of
I
course
see.
it is.
You've had this question before.
Did we
Yeah,
really see what we thought we saw?
I'm trying to spread doubt.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what you might look like? Have you seen anything? Have they showed you anything yet in terms of like the suit, or is there like some of these characters, like Scarlet Witch, for instance? Almost all the characters so far that look different than they do in the comic books.
Yeah, I know what it's. Yeah, I know what it
You
looks
got an
like.
idea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's super
Do
cool.
you want me to tell you what it looks like?
Yes, I want you to draw it for us.
I'm not doing
Colors,
it.
shapes.
Okay, we have time for me to draw it.
Yeah,
That'd be
sure.
amazing. We do
Draw it in
a
the
bunch
air.
of
I'm joking.
You air draw it, and we'll render it afterwards.
Yes,
It'll be fun.
yes.
Is there one Avenger or character from the Marvel Universe you're very excited to kind of meet as Black Panther?
As the character?
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
character.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. Black Widow,
Yeah.
Iron Man, and really all of them. Like I think they are exciting. That's kind of what you do is you want to go through and figure out what is the relationship you have with each person, and so you become excited about all those moments. To be honest with you.
Yeah, nice.
And are you reading up now? Are you boning up on the comic book character at all? Are you looking into that? Like doing some homework right now? Is that?
What do you think this is over here? What do you think this is?
Yeah,
Of course.
I know you're in the middle of a deep dive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
really- that's
you
fun.
you have to do your research, whether it's a real character or it's or it's this.
Of all the depictions you've seen of Black Panther so far, which one's your favorite? Like the comic book version, and the version that's like in the cartoon from a few years ago was super cool because it's got the vibranium daggers, right? Like which one do you like?
The one we're about to do.
Because you already know.
Is my favorite.
That's
guy
right.
knows.
All right, fair enough.
He knows
That's
all
my
the
accept that as
sound
an
bites.
answer.
That's my
I
favorite.
like that. I like that.
I will accept that as an answer.
What's the most fun what's the most fun part of getting prepped and getting trained and whatnot so far?
I think the physicality of it is always for me like it's one of the things that I dread it when I get up in the morning, but then by the time I'm doing it, regardless of what it is, it becomes something that you get excited about because you worked on it.
Yeah.
You must be doing
beforehand.
some combat training, some parkour stuff. Like what are you working on? What are you doing?
I'm only here
What
to
kind of sensei
spread.
do you have?
I'm only here to spread doubt and question marks.
You are good. You are good.
So the first thing they do is
I'm
they
really good.
Marvel train them.
I'm
Yeah.
only here to
Yeah.
spread doubt and question marks.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
sorry.
That's perfect.
That's okay,
I think
that's
you're
okay,
good. That's a good
that's great.
tease. We're looking forward to it so much.
That's fun. I think
So
yours
much.
is the one that everybody really wants to see
Yeah.
get done, and like it's gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
I hope so, man.
Well, enjoy the film tonight
All right.
and the Wakanda tease. We'll talk to you about it afterwards.
Okay.
That's right.
Some other time.
I've already done the Wakanda tease.
Ah! I love it. Awesome.
All right,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
So
Thanks,
good
Jenna.
seeing you.
Good
I'll
luck
take
to
this
you.
around. Thank you, sir. Expertise. Woo. Yes,
They've got these guys trained.
Marvel trained, but he's so charming about it.
Yep. He is. He's
And they
perfect.
did-
He's great casting.
He is. And they did, I don't know if you were at the Marvel announcement when they announced the slate and they announced
there.
Chadwick. I was there too.
It was right here. It was right here at the El Cap. That was
so
fun.
great. They had a little play action. They announced Chadwick with Captain America and with Robert Downey Jr. And it was such a cute little staged shot and like just a cute little tease of what we might see, how they might interact on screen.
It was great. They were giving him they were hazing him just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It was great.
But Black Panther is not to be messed with.
No,
Like,
I'm really interested. And
he's an alpha Avenger. There's no doubt about it.
yeah,
I think that loudest noise we've heard yet tonight means
I'm trying
somewhere
to see.
down there.
I mean,
yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's here. I believe we might have eyes. Oh, we might have eyes on Paul Bettany. He's very close. Vision.
Behold.
Vision / Jarvis.
The Vision.
Who else we got?
I see Kobe Smulders, I believe.
Oh yay! Kobe's great.
Yeah, so we're packing them in here.
Yeah.
We are right in the middle of things. By the way, if you are just tuning in, this is the Mashable live stream of the Avengers Age of Ultron world premiere at the Hollywood and Highland Center in Los Angeles. Right behind us is the Dolby Theater, where they will be showing the movie to an audience that's not a bunch of nerdy journalists like us for the first time. We have seen the film. We're doing our best not to spoil you and yet tease some of this stuff as we get folks here. There he is, the Vision himself.
We're getting him.
That's terrific.
We're gonna get Mr. Bettany, who is
my favorite thing about the movie.
So good in this movie. It's so good to see him on screen. We've heard his voice for how many movies? 5?
When I interviewed him at the junket on Friday, he came up behind me and I could hear his voice before I could see him. And I was like, it's Jarvis! Jarvis is in the building. And the first thing he did was he sat down and he asked his publicist, can I get my glasses? I can't see a thing.
Great
The
accent.
Vision can't see a thing.
Sells itself.
These stories write themselves. We don't even have to, we just have to sit down and our fingers move and they just come out. They're so good. But he's terrific in the movie. He looks great. He's one of the coolest reveals, I think, and definitely a character that's going to play into Infinity Wars in a huge way. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for all things Vision when you finally get to see this film. And I think we're going to get lucky enough to talk to Paul here in just a minute.
Yeah, we heard he has his own theme. All right, here we go.
Here he comes.
Hello, sir. Welcome. Good to
Behold.
see you.
Hey, how you
The
doing?
Vision. Good to see you again.
Here,
How do you do?
You want me to hold it? Oh,
Please
hi.
Oh, welcome.
Hello.
This is Mashable's live stream.
How you doing?
We were just
We are
talking,
live.
Mutual Admiration Society from us, because you're such a huge highlight of the movie for us.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I haven't seen it.
I know, that's so great.
You've
I'm
been
going to see it
saving
tonight.
yourself.
Yeah. You mentioned briefly you were worried about your daughter's reaction to the makeup. Could you just talk us about what she thought of you and amidst the screams?
Yeah, she came with me on my first day on set, and I was getting into all the makeup, and I was really worried what her, she's 3 years old, what her reaction would be to seeing this sort of, purple and green monster coming back into her trailer, and she just jumped into my arms like it hadn't happened, like she didn't notice it.
It's just dad to you.
And so the humiliating portion of this story is that when at the end of the day I took all the makeup off, she had a meltdown and started screaming that she wanted Purple Daddy back. So it's a little...
Well, she's going to get plenty of it in the movie. The costume looks amazing on screen. The texture of
they
the
did
costume.
an amazing job.
Yeah, what was it like? What was that material like?
Well,
And a lot of that was in camera too.
Yeah, a lot of it's in camera, and they did an extraordinary job. And it's actually like a woman's tights material that is 3D printed on. I mean, it's like cutting edge, and it would tear all the time.
Oh, you get runs in it?
Yeah, exactly. You get runs, but it was it was a fantastic. They created a fantastic look. They're brilliant at it, and the designer's an extraordinary woman.
Was there a reaction or a welcoming for your physical being on set versus just your voice?
Yeah, it was. It's funny. I wasn't very. I thought I'd be daunted, and I really wasn't. And I guess part of the reason was I've been involved since Iron Man 1, and so I was really relaxed when I went on set, and then Downey made a speech, and everybody was really welcoming, and It was lovely, and they're all very happy. It's a happy set. These guys are getting paid a lot of money. they're at the top of their game, and they're funny, witty, creative human beings. It's a nice way to spend your day.
Yeah.
Is there a Jarvis voice and a Vision voice? Is there any kind of a shift there at all? You think about it differently? You think about the characters differently?
Yeah, well, all of the Jarvis is a servant, and this guy's too powerful to be anybody's servant, and it was interesting. I'll never get to play anybody being born again. So you're born this creature on the screen, super powerful, omnipotent, and yet experiencing life for the very first time without any preconceptions and without any moral compass. It was really it was fun. It was a fun thing to imagine.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant job. It's really fun to have you transition it from Jarvis into the Vision. Vision's a great character. It's one of the best parts of the movie. You guys are going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really well done. Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much for taking a minute to
Thank
talk with us.
I hope
really
we see you
appreciate
in many more.
Thank you
Yes,
very
we
much.
You can
sure do.
endure
Me
it.
too.
Thank you. Thank you
Paul.
so much.
Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
We are having
my.
a moment with the villain.
This
just a
is-
second. Mr. James
this is
Spader,
it.
welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you.
How
Thank
do
you
you
for
do?
stepping into Mashable's
All right.
live stream.
I feel very much like I'm standing in the presence of Ultron. The physicality of that character is clear to me as it has been throughout watching the film. I mean,
Oh, really? Good.
I'm
seeing it for the first time tonight, so I'm.
Oh, you're gonna have a
Perfect.
blast.
Excited. Yeah.
You did a lot of the scenes, almost all of them. The Ultron scenes are you, right? It's
Yeah, all of
it's
them.
your body and
Yeah.
it's your facial.
Yep.
I mean, you've never done anything like that before.
Very well enhanced.
Well, yes, indeed. You're a little taller in the movie,
Expertly enhanced.
but it is clear that.
And I didn't have to go to the
that it's
gym.
you.
They just did that for me.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
Best job.
It's gotten better.
I heard that the first day you were on set in the full costume and you did your first monologue when you sort of creepily enter the world of Ultron. Everyone kind of lost what they were doing because they were so caught up in your performance and stopped and clapped. Was that the sort of warm welcome you got?
I heard that yesterday
Yeah.
in an interview, and I had forgotten that. I was pretty wrapped up in
Sure.
what I was trying to accomplish in the scene, so I had forgotten it entirely. But then when someone reminded me, I remembered. It was a lovely thing.
Yeah.
But Robert is a dear old friend of mine, and he may have led the way.
Did he have something to do with you also being in the film? Didn't or
I
they
don't
all
think
sort
so.
of-
No, I don't think so. I know Joss Whedon when he had started talking to
Maybe it was Joss.
them
Is
about
what I'm
casting.
thinking
Yeah,
of
it
is
was
Joss. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that you bring humanity into a character that is not just not a human is fiercely anti-human is one of the greatest things about it. I mean,
I don't know whether would have been able to do it any other way, frankly. I mean, I am a human, so
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what else I would have been able to do
Yeah.
except that, really.
But the humor.
I think he would have
in
been a
the-
very uninteresting character if he was just a sort of automated thing. You know?
Right.
Gotcha.
He's much more complicated than that, certainly.
How did you decide to play sort of his madness between being brilliant and trying to
Well,
to
it was
become a form?
written that way, but also I just think that part of it is these sort of voices that he's hearing in his head all the time, and the sort of streaming of information that's constantly running through his head, and and he also just switches very, very quickly from humor to rage to a little hissy fit to
Whew, they're doozies. Well, they are pulling you away from us, but we're so happy to speak to you and so happy
Thank
you
you.
are
Thank
in
you for
the movie.
having me.
Thank
Yes,
you very much for
thank
coming.
you.
And
Enjoy the
congratulations
movie.
on the film.
Yes.
It is terrific.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
likewise.
Watch your stuff there.
Wow.
Ultron himself.
Ultron himself.
Wait, do you guys hear his? I mean, his
feel a
voice.
chill.
Yeah, his voice and the way he moves. It's amazing. We're
And in the film, obviously, he's he's at least in
Yeah.
some iterations, he's
Yeah.
a giant,
oh yeah.
very statuesque figure.
Yeah.
And yet there's something about his body movements. I'm sure they were thinking about
Yeah.
the Pinocchio and the puppet
Oh,
thing in the way
so
that
good.
he's almost like a marionette.
Yeah.
Really, really affecting.
Yeah, his-
and deeply creepy.
And I think people have talked about, the villains in Marvel Universe being either, not campy, but actually sort of scary. Loki, I think we had, I mean, we have an attachment to because we sort of know him as Thor's brother and stuff. So there were elements we understood his darkness and sort of his brother tantrum. But Ultron is a whole nother type of villain because he just hates Tony Stark, hates Iron Man,
He just hates all
the
people.
way he arrives into frame is so creepy, like sort of a half-made robot. And that scene's sort of been teased, I think, in some of the trailers and the footage. But oh man, see, in the film, it does not disappoint. It's so creepy.
There's no doubt that Ultron is an alpha villain in the Marvel universe at large. He is one of the guys that bedevils them and keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And never really dies. He is just he basically is kind of like represents the worst of humanity or what we're capable of
Sure.
in terms of where our technology is taking us. Before there was a Terminator,
Absolutely.
before we had tons of AI movies, Ultron was representing that. But that's the house of ideas for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Deep dive.
Yes,
Marvel.
That's
That's
where
so
it all
great,
comes
though. I
from.
mean, it's
But
true.
they
There's-
really took that character to a different level. They put him just in a place that makes
Yeah.
total sense for the character cinematically, because
Yeah.
even in the cartoon of a few years ago, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he was still this, I am Ultron and I will destroy you, and it was very, very
This
robotic.
is not that.
This is not that at all,
Yeah.
and it works. It's
Yeah.
one of the best things about the film.
It is. I think there was a really, Mr. Spader told a story that Joss kind of wrote him very specific scenes that aren't even in the movie in persuading him to sort of sign on to the role, and I thought that was, and James said that was a lovely touch, and that was something that sort of convinced him that, he should kind of read the full script. But I like that, of course Joss has the time to write extra Ultron scenes that don't end up in the movie.
There's no doubt that a lot of that dialogue was written in James Spader voice, right? I mean,
yes.
with that completely in mind.
Yeah.
They tailor-made this role for him, and it was really smart
Yeah.
because he turns out to be a great movie villain.
Yes.
And very, very different from Loki. I mean, Loki, we sort of are hopeful that, he'll come around eventually.
Loki?
Right?
Oh, that he won't
he's
be.
He's always sort of there.
Yes.
with
I
us.
mean, I love that we know. I'm a huge Tom Hiddleston fan anyway, so I love his performance of it because there's such like a sad cellist brother quality that Tom makes into like
He's
the
very emo.
Shakespearean tragedy.
He's an
Yes.
emo villain,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Ultron is not an emo villain.
No, he's not. Well, and
Not at all.
speaking of villains, I think we're about to speak to Elizabeth Olsen, who sort of falls into that gray area we were talking about.
She certainly
Scarlet
does.
Witch.
The Scarlet Witch.
She and Aaron Taylor Johnson have such a lovely rapport as twins.
Well, we also know that they did Godzilla together.
Yeah, that
so
helps.
they know each other. They're building a little bit of chemistry. Although they were a married couple in Godzilla, now they're brother and sister.
It works.
But she also, a new character that we get to see, and Marvel fans will really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
A couple of nods to the classic Scarlet Witch character,
Yes.
who is also going to be very important when it comes time to battle the big boss battle in Infinity Wars, because Thanos is not a bad guy who you can just bash out of existence.
Yeah, he seems very omnipotent in that we just
Yeah.
have seen glimpses of him just being terrible.
You have to be able to outwit him on several different planes.
Yeah.
You can't send Hulk in to do that.
Yeah.
Well, our correspondent on the carpet here,
Yes.
Brian Hernandez, is signaling us.
Oh yes, we are looking at Mark Ruffalo and
Oh my goodness, the Hulk.
Yes.
Speaking of the Hulk, bashing
Yes.
his way through the
Yes.
red carpet.
So we're hoping to get him over here next. It's crowded on the red carpet now because everyone sort of arrives at the same time. So now it's going to be a fun little Tetris juggling act of
We're actually getting to the point in the night where people start to sort of need to be getting into their seats pretty soon, or they're going to miss the beginning of the movie. But we're hoping that Elizabeth Olsen at least will join us here very, very shortly.
have
There's something very specific that I want to ask her to do, and I don't know if she's going to go for
I
it.
think she might. I know what you're talking about because it's such a big part of the character.
Yes.
I have a Chris Evans sighting. Captain America's on the carpet also.
Oh, you saw Captain America?
Yeah, he's down. He's
Maybe I'll
down
be right
just a
back.
little bit.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You
I'm
know,
not
I
going
should be able to see is Chris Hemsworth because he's so darn tall, but I don't see him yet.
You know,
he's probably at the
you
far
will
end.
see a glow rise up from the crowd. You will feel
He's
a
a doll.
presence as the Asgardian makes
Yeah.
his way down the red carpet
Yeah.
here. This is kind of an Asgardian-looking setup right here with the rich red carpet and a bunch of larger-than-life people wandering around.
Yeah, and we do, with when we mentioned at the top a little bit in the movie, kind of getting to know more characters, we do get to know, we go into Asgard. Not a spoiler. Oh, we have Elizabeth Olsen. Hello.
There she is.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry, we're going to give you this mic after
oh
that.
my goodness.
Yes. Welcome to Mashable's live stream.
Okay, yep.
Just don't step off the platform.
I already did that once.
Oh, well, we will catch you. I would jump out and grab you.
You're supposed to be able to see ahead and know that that's there. You can just sense it.
I can sense it.
Yes.
But
That's right.
I don't usually wear heels.
That's all right. That's good. Me either. We were just speaking to your sibling co-star in the movie, Mr. Johnson.
I haven't seen him.
Oh, I'm sure you'll
I'll see him later.
But both your characters have very specific movement that's new to the universe. How did you find your movement for her?
I actually worked with a dance coach. Joss Whedon wanted to bring in a new form of fighting, a new style of fighting, and so he wanted to incorporate dance. And I got to work with a dancer, and basically Joss is an amazing Scarlet Witch, so we would just try and mirror him.
Joss is an amazing dancer, as we know.
Yeah, and he's an amazing dancer.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, what the hand was? Those are your hands that we're seeing. Can you just sort of give me an idea of how to start to do that?
I do have pen mark,
sort of
but
thing.
yeah.
How do you do it?
Oh yeah, see, it's very calculated with it looks so
and
great.
the fun
with the
thing
effects.
is when you get really twitchy with it, like the Japanese horror film kind of
See,
thing.
I just thought they added that in, but you're actually doing that.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes,
I thought that was
am.
something that they did in
I
post.
do my own stunts with my fingers.
If you had had red mist coming out, then I would have just gone
I
home.
know. I
would have been done
wish
for the
I could
night.
have rigged that, and like I could have seen ahead, and I could have rigged that.
That
for
would
you
have been the
guys.
end of the show.
Was there one day on set? You know, you did Godzilla. You've done bigger films. Was there one particular day where you were looking around at a set or a location and just thinking, "Holy cow"?
It happened often, actually, because the first couple weeks we were on location in Italy, and we took over an entire town and destroyed it and made it look like rubble and like the end of the world. And then we took over another campus basically that they're already going to tear down, and we helped them demolish it basically.
Wow.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane. So there are a lot of pinch me moments. Yeah. And then also like meeting Robert Downey Jr. for the first time is a pinch me moment.
Yeah. I hear you that it's a big hazing thing, you know.
I wish. They didn't put that much attention on it.
Yeah, we heard they were really very nice to you guys.
Incredibly
actually.
nice. Yeah, the
That's
kindest,
too bad.
most
That's
generous
pretty
people.
disappointing.
Gotcha. They're pulling you away from us because I think you have many more interviews to do. People
Okay,
would love
cool.
to talk to you, but I hope to see you in so many more Marvel films.
I do too.
Yes,
I
So
hope
good.
so too.
She's so good in this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll
Thank
take
you so
this.
much, Elizabeth.
Thank
Take
you
care
very
now.
much. You
Bye-bye
too.
now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Scarlet Witch up here.
Yeah, she's so
Our
good.
night is
and
almost
honestly,
complete.
that hand movement is so fun in the movie. I
That
think we're
was
about to get Mark Ruffalo.
Awesome.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Hello, sir.
There you are. Hey.
Nice to see you.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Mark, I'm Josh.
Mark Ruffalo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
do
meet
do?
you, Josh.
Hi, nice
Hi,
to see
how are you?
you.
Nice to see you again.
Hi.
We
Claire.
sat next to each
I
other
know,
at the
yeah.
screening.
Sonny, I'm Josh.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
This is Mashable's live stream.
Yes.
So we are live.
Great.
Yes.
So don't make them angry.
Yeah.
Because the world is watching right now.
Yes.
We talked a lot about how much. Oh, don't fall. Here, I will grab you. I'll grab you. I've done that as much times. We were talking about just about we get to know. There's a lot of Hulk in this movie, which is so great.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of Banner in this movie.
Yes.
too.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
Banner.
it's nice. Yeah.
I was wondering. It seems like the animation has gotten that it looks more and more like you. And I know that you went and worked with Andy Serkis's company. Can you talk just a little bit about that part of the performance and kind of working with him?
Sure. Well, the technology's made a huge leap from this film from the last one, and we've been able to bring more of the Hulk, or me playing the Hulk, onto stage and interacting with some of the other actors.
Yeah.
So it just has a much deeper, kind of more personal level than it did in the first time around.
Yeah. It does. And it gets personal in this movie, just so you know. We're not going to spoil anything. Another thing that's new is the stretchy pants, the never tear
Stretchy
pants.
pants.
Can you tell us about those?
Stretchy pants. Yes, the technology finally brought us to a place where Stark and Banner could come up with a pair of pants that actually fit Banner and the Hulk.
Yes.
Alternatively.
Now, those of us like to binge eat might want something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're still really tight, though.
I bet. Not modest pants. Well, And real quickly before you go, because they're pulling you away, you have so many interviews to go. Are you part of having to keep the secrets in your partner here being
Yeah, how
a
much
part
do
of
you get to
Marvel?
know?
How much do you get to know? How much do you feel pressure having to keep the plot secrets?
You know what? I don't want to know anything until I see the movie.
Okay.
I kind of prefer to go in surprised.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
What's it like for you to see him Hulk out?
But then sometimes I actually talk the secrets out at night when I'm sleeping.
Is that how we go
There's
about that?
Nice. That works.
You
Well,
have trade reporters stationed in your bedroom now.
yeah.
So that's what's going on.
Well, you're going to be surprised tonight. I know more people. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks,
stopping
good
by.
seeing you.
It was a lot of fun, guys.
Yes,
you.
thank you so
much.
much.
It's
I'm
great.
going to grab it before you come on. Help you off the platform. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. We have got
We
lot
got
of Avengers
Captain
up
America
here
and
already.
Nick Fury are behind us, yucking it up.
Oh boy, look at that.
I don't know if they're going to come talk to us, but
Which
they're
one of
just
those guys is really in charge right now, by the way?
they're just chit-chatting and laughing at each other.
Where we left them.
Chris Evans and Samuel L. Jackson. I should give their actual names.
Yeah, where we left them, we had Nick Fury saying, "Yeah, I guess you're in charge now, Cap."
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how totally in charge he really is, or how much charge Nick Fury is willing to give up.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
well, it's also, I will hopefully get to ask him this, but Nick Fury seems to know everything all the time, and I'm just wondering how.
Yes.
I'm sure it's some technology thing, but I want to know how.
He's got his
I want him to
eye
explain
on
to
everything
us.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, how does
Yeah,
he
these
know?
two definitely do not look like a couple of people caught in a power struggle. And is that a seersucker?
I know.
Oh, it's awfully close.
Ooh, Samuel Jackson's
Not
wearing
quite,
a
but
very cool
awfully close.
blazer or suit jacket.
And a cool hat. And a
A lot
cool
of
beard.
handshaking and giggling. They probably just don't want to do interviews because they're having so much fun.
Could be.
Yeah.
They're too busy
Ooh, I see Kevin
being
Feige.
nice to each other.
Kevin Feige is super fun to talk to about. Ask him a lot of questions that he can't even answer. He's good.
Let's just
we can
line up-
ask him. When does Black Panther start shooting? When are we going to meet Thanos? Maybe, and we'll just see how many he'll
Let's just
he'll
line
answer.
up every taboo question we can think of that you guys want to know and see if we can
Yeah.
pop something loose. Because he does that once in a while. He'll drop some knowledge without letting anybody know.
He will.
And now I finally see Hemsworth
Oh.
for the first time.
Oh, now I do
Looking
too.
dapper in a gray
And
suit.
tall. Very easy to
He and I have the same haircut. He just has more of it.
Well, good.
But we still haven't seen Downey yet.
No,
tonight.
he'll probably show up in some fancy car or something like that.
A Lamborghini will go by here at 120 miles an hour, and that will be Downey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We actually have some clips to show. Should we consider maybe taking a look at one of these? They dropped some new
Maybe.
clips, and now that we just talked with the Hulk,
Yeah.
they dropped a new Hulk clip this morning. There's actually two of them. One is the
Hulkbuster?
the Hulkbuster armor battle, and the
Yeah.
other one is the Hulk de-hulking.
Yeah.
Do we have those
we
clips?
potentially
Do we want
have
to show
them.
one of them? We
But
might have.
they
We were
they
supposed
exist
to.
online.
Well, they'll let us know if and when
Yeah.
we do get one of those things queued up.
I know that the Hulkbuster, I don't know as much about Hulk. I hope I've already admitted that. But, I think while we're talking about these clips, we're going to take a short break.
Yep, we'll take a
and
quick
come
break.
back to you in a few.
All right.
Thanks.
Hey, big guy. Sun's getting real low.
Chris Evans, Captain America, Steve Rogers, and he has a huge fan base that are constantly waving to
Look at
him.
these people. Everybody's got Captain America stuff on.
I know.
Who does this?
It's because the blue of your eyes looks so nice with the bright lights. It looks good.
This is just normal.
What are they imploring you to do? Like throw up a
just
shield or something
waving.
like that's what they want?
There is a little gap there with a little shirt. I assume that this is what life is like for you, just walking down the street, people screaming.
Oh, everywhere I go, you're like, oh, please, take it easy.
How has the role sort of influenced or affected, your work, your life? I don't know.
Not as much as I thought it was going to.
Sure.
You know, I think I may have anticipated a little bit more of personal change in terms of my private life, but it really wasn't that bad. You know, you kind of anticipate when the movie comes out, there's going to be a wave of
interest,
awareness.
You got to direct a film this year too. That was cool.
Yeah, I did. You know, but for the most part, when the movie comes out, it's a bit of an increase, and then it kind of subsides, and that's actually not so bad.
I'm wondering just how you like the dynamic between in this movie in particular. We see sort of a shifting dynamic between Tony and Cap. How do you enjoy playing that with Mr. Downey?
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a chance to spar with someone like Downey, it's satisfying. As an actor, it's just... the beautiful thing about Marvel is that they really kind of provide a platform for really interesting back and forths, and Downey is obviously so talented. So anytime you get to kind of play the polar opposite of whatever he's playing is a real treat.
Yeah.
And you are ostensibly in charge now. Cap is in charge of the Avengers. He's the leader. There's no doubt about it. Although we just saw you with Mr. Nick Fury himself over there. How in charge do you really feel?
That's right. Well, Nick and I were just talking about our golf games. And
perfect.
Sounds like Nick's is a lot better than mine. But yeah, I suppose Cap at this point is trying to, play a little bit more of a leadership role in terms of the Avengers. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we can't wait for that to continue because we know we're going to see you again. And
Great.
you have to do more interviews now.
That's right.
We so appreciate
Thank
you coming
you,
in,
guys.
squinting through our lines.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. I'll take this. Thank you. There he is, Captain America.
Well, that just happened.
Yeah.
I thought they started shooting April 4th. That was my intel on that. I don't know. What am I listening to?
It just means he hasn't started shooting because
That's
obviously they're
right.
prepping the movie. If they don't start shooting,
They're down
then,
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, well, we got that. We're going to show this clip now. This is a Hulk clip that dropped this morning from Marvel.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy. Sun's getting real low.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that. I'm Josh Dickey, the entertainment editor for Mashable. This is the live stream, the Avengers Age of Ultron world premiere red carpet. I'm here with Kara Warner.
Hi.
Kara, thanks for joining us, by the way. You've done great so far. I could not have done this without you. I'd be way too nervous talking to Chris Evans. There's just no way.
Pretty
There's just no way. The boy crush is just too strong.
He has very pretty blue eyes, that Chris Evans.
But we're not even. He's when he looks at you like this.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
I once
I thought they were shooting Civil War when he looked at me like that.
Oh yeah. They are prepping that movie. It's fine.
They are.
Yeah.
So we're not even through yet. I mean, we are like halfway through the Avengers team. We've gotten Ruffalo so far, the Hulk. We got Scarlet Witch.
The Man in Charge, Joss Whedon.
We got Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
We got Captain America.
Yeah.
We got the Vision,
Yep,
who I think is my
Vision.
new. I think that's going to be my Halloween costume this year.
Ooh.
I don't know. We'll
They'll
have to
have
see.
a mask, so you don't have to do the face paint. But
I'm not going to be able to 3D
there are
print
some
my
really,
costume
actually,
like
that's
he
a
did.
good topic. There is some good. I mean, the Scarlet Witch's costume is so great that.
It's always fun to have one of these new Marvel movies with new characters in it because you see who comes up with Well,
Yeah.
Comic-Con is right around the corner.
Oh, that's right.
You can see who's going to be cosplaying as these characters.
Yeah.
Good luck making a Vision costume. That sounds hard.
Sounds really hard.
Anyway, still down the line, I see Chris Hemsworth right now. I see Kevin Feige, who's actually the person who's in charge.
Yeah, where is he? Is he behind?
Right down there.
Oh, I
you
see
can
him.
see
He
his
backtracked.
yes.
Yeah. But we've got some good tidbits. Chadwick Boseman was lovely.
Yes, we
he
got to
was
talk with the Black Panther.
Great at teasing nothing. Really
Yeah.
good. I mean, now that he can. Or we
That's the
expect
thing
it,
about
but-
these Marvel guys. Yeah, they program them very, very well not to give up
Yes.
any secrets of
Yeah.
any kind. Not that you want to know any secrets, especially about this movie, which is world premiering at the Dolby Theater right behind us. We're getting very close to the time when everybody will be in their seats and seeing it for the first time. Karen and I got to see the movie on Friday.
Yes.
As part
Thursday
of
for me,
press.
actually.
Oh, that's right.
Just a little extra
it was-
braggery.
Yeah, you got an extra day on me. I saw it Friday. You know what, though? While what we saw was the final print,
this
it's
is
never the final print until it's the final print. If you
Yes.
guys are paying attention, during the junket, which was on Saturday,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., introducing Kevin Feige, says, Kevin is wearing his fleece because it's been cold in the edit room lately. Now, what do you suppose that means?
Interesting. Well, if we remember the first film, when we watched it as a press screening, the first Avengers, we got one little mid-credit tease, and then when it was released theatrically, they had shot a whole other scene during the junket for the
That's
film
right.
last time. So
And they came out and specifically said that they're not doing a stinger.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon himself said they're not doing a stinger after this film.
Yes.
I don't know. How do you believe a
Yeah.
word that guy says?
Well, he doesn't.
I think maybe they hadn't come up with one.
Yeah.
But
it's also you don't want to do that twice in a row.
yeah. Hey, I guess we got another clip coming up.
Yeah.
We've already seen one clip featuring the Hulk. Another one dropped this morning. There are 2 new clips on us this morning. Let's take a look at Mark Ruffalo in action.
This could have been avoided if you hadn't played with
No,
something you don't
I'm
understand.
I'm sorry. It is funny. It's a hoot that you don't get why we need this.
Tony, maybe this might not be the time.
Really? That's it. You just roll over, show your belly every time somebody snarls.
Only when I've created a murder bot.
We didn't. We weren't even close. Were we close to an interface?
Well, you did something right. And you did it right here. The Avengers were supposed to be different than S.H.I.E.L.D.
Anybody remember when I carried a nuke through a wormhole?
No, it's never come up.
Save New York?
Never heard that.
Recall that? A hostile alien army came charging through a hole in space. We're standing 300 feet below it. We're the Avengers. We can bust arms dealers all the live long day, but that up there, that's the end game. How are you guys planning on beating that?
Together.
Hey, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that clip from Marvel's The Avengers Age of Ultron, which just dropped this morning and is brand new.
Yeah.
Coming at you on Mashable's live stream from the Age of Ultron world premiere red carpet. I'm Josh Dickey, the entertainment editor for Mashable, here with Kara Warner, who has been invaluable to me this evening. Thank you so much for coming
Two
and
heads better
joining
than
us here
one.
today. She's been great. We've got so much more to come. I can't believe we're still here and it's still going, and there's still more Avengers to come.
I kind of can. This cast is huge.
There's so many of them.
Premieres are huge.
Indeed. Yep. In fact, standing on the platform next to us is Chris Hemsworth. We hope to speak with him before all is said and done. Robert Downey Jr. I don't even think has showed up yet. I think we're waiting for, the big entrance. There'll be the Audi supercar will come roaring past here
he loves those Audis.
in no time, and they'll be blaring some AC/DC.
Ooh, that'd be
and
nice.
then he'll go breezing past us like we don't exist.
Yeah.
That's all we can expect out of him.
We're standing sort of on Hollywood Boulevard as it is shut down for this action. The fans have stayed. I mean, probably because the big stars are at the end. Scarlett Johansson is down there, I see also.
They
I can't see her
started
dress yet though.
They started lining up here on Hollywood Boulevard and inside the Dolby Theater where they're going to be having the premiere here, and I would say about half an hour to 40 minutes or so before we got here. Like, we got here around 2 o'clock this afternoon, 5 hours ago, and they were already starting to line up in costume. Pretty hardcore. They're going to get a real close-up look at pretty much everybody they want to here, but they're good about being accessible like that.
Yeah, that's true. Marvel's good to their fans. I mean, the fans, let's face it, the fans. We fans, I'm a fan, we're really good to them.
They've been building fans, too, ever since Iron Man. I mean, I remember when they announced that first movie, Iron Man was my guy.
Really?
And he was an obscure superhero. Think about how big Iron Man is now. He was fairly obscure in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid. But it's worked out pretty well for them so far. They've done an amazing job of architecting this universe of characters and storylines. And so many of them are true to the comics. And I love the way that they very subtly change the stories to fit the cinematic universe. I had a little hard time with that at first as a fan, and now I am all in.
Good.
And this movie in particular, Age of Ultron, does some really, really crafty things with the things that you know about the character Ultron, the things you know about the character Vision, the things you know about what's coming with Civil War and Infinity Wars, really taking a lot of elements and putting it together. Huge credit to Kevin Feige and Joss Whedon for being able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to even talk about the scope and where they started, and then now with the TV shows, Daredevil has a huge response.
Everybody loves Daredevil so far. I've only watched a little bit of it, but it looks great.
Yeah, I mean, you have all of these.
We had the Shield cast up here earlier.
Yeah.
Pretty much all together.
Yes.
That's a jolly crowd.
They were very
They're
jolly.
loving life right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's just really cool to be here and to see what sort of the culmination of everything so far, how giant it is. They've moved out of the El Capitan theaters right over to our right shoulder. Here comes the car. There it is.
Oh, that must be down.
It's a silver Audi.
He's driving himself.
Oh,
I
he
love
always
that.
drives himself.
Love it.
Robert Downey Jr. just drove in here in a silver Audi.
Yeah.
That car's probably worth more than I'll make in 5-6 years time.
Yeah.
And for sure.
With that great reception,
knows
we
how to
might-
make an entrance,
Yeah,
if nothing else.
Yeah. And speaking of great
So-
entrances, I think we're about to speak to the
The
God
man
of
himself.
Thunder. Yes.
The God of Thunder has just grabbed Brian Hernandez's double selfie stick away from him and is swinging it around.
His vantage
That
point is way better anyway.
is priceless.
Yeah. So hopefully he's gonna come chat with us. Brian's doing the best job of doing the Periscope and Meerkat action.
Yep, if you want another angle on this world
Yeah.
premiere, red carpet live stream from Mashable, you can check out our Periscope and Meerkat accounts, which are pretty much awesome all the time, but are as good as they get. And here we go. There he is.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
You know, we love the screams, the reception.
No, for you, I think.
Oh yeah.
I was over there
course.
screaming for you guys.
Of course, I'm sure.
That was Downey just came in his Audi. He was driving.
He drove himself, didn't he?
Yeah, of course he
show
did.
off, show off.
He always does
Totally.
that.
Is
Matte
that-
black, looked pretty nice.
I'm sure
didn't
that's how he arrives to set every day too, right?
He does. Just rolls right onto the set, straight through everything.
Well, you've got a flying chariot, so,
I do.
That's
I don't
not
bring
so
it to the
bad.
set though. I leave it near the trailer, parked
You
in the
leave,
parking lot.
you leave the driving to the professionals.
One of the questions I just have randomly is: we just spoke to Chris Evans. We have another. What's the shorthand for the Chris's on set?
Yeah. How do they?
It's usually Mr. Hemsworth or Mr. Evans or
Oh.
Hemsworth Evans or you or shut up to both of you, something like that.
But never just Chris, because then you'd both look at the same time. That would be
No, but
awkward.
There's sometimes, and you get exactly that.
Yeah.
There's about 6 of us actually on that
So they
set.
don't call you Thor and Cap, though. That's not what's going on there.
Not usually, no. Unless they kind
It
of.
would be hard for me not to
taking the
refer to
mickey
you
out
as
of us.
Thor if you were in the full. You would be Thor to me.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? It'd be easier, I guess.
It sure would.
They should do.
Well, speaking of where we pick up with Thor in this film, he comes back to kind of help again. How does Thor know when to come back from Asgard to kind of help? What's the communication?
They just shoot him a text.
That's what
Or
I
he
thought it might
watches
be.
the Twitter feed and just got to make sure there's no chaos happening on Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, in this film, I think he kind of is already there. I think that's the kind of vibe we've set up, that he's been here for a while now. He's got some casual gear. He's not always walking around in his Thor get-up. So he's
When do we get to
becoming
see
more human.
Thor in casual wear, actually. That is kind of a
couple
treat.
moments, yeah.
Well, we
little
want to
pop
see
collar.
the gold helmet too at some point. Is the helmet ever going to come into play? We never
Probably
see
not,
that,
because
you
I
know?
hate the thing. And I know the fanboys are cursing my name when I say that, but it's the most uncomfortable, impractical thing. And we tried doing it, and the stunt scenes, it would like either break or end up in your eye, and I was just like, this no.
Does anybody, speaking of props, does anybody get to touch the hammer on set besides you?
Yeah.
No.
No.
They
Not
keep it in a
allowed.
special box. So
Yeah.
That sounds good. Until the next film, right?
That's right, until they replace me and someone
Yeah.
else touches it.
That won't happen.
Is Ragnarok the next for you? Is that you're going to be your next
I
involvement?
don't know.
as far as
I
you
haven't
know?
seen the script yet. I don't start shooting that until I'm still a year away. So there's
Yeah.
very, very early development. And I know the Marvel guys have some grand plan about it all, coming together and colliding. And
Yeah.
But no, I'm eager to see something because,
Yeah.
as soon as we finish this, you start thinking, oh, okay, well, what's Thor doing next? And you hear that the next Captain America movie they're gathering, and I'm like, well, Thor's not invited to that. What's he going to do?
Yeah. Well, they're chanting your name potentially, and I know you.
Yeah, I think that's the
they're-
other Chris.
they're pulling
See,
you.
that's the danger,
I
but I'll
think you
take it.
But you have to go do a little bit more interviews. But I'm so
Well,
happy you.
nice to talk to you guys.
Absolutely, so nice.
Likewise.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll take this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Let's take care. Congrats. Oh, wow. Well, we just talked to Thor.
He's the best.
I'll
Isn't
get
he
over that
lovely?
eventually.
Both those Chris's. I mean, this is a hard job. I'm not,
To say something
Yeah, to
different.
just stand with them and for them to just be
to
lovely
Each of them.
in person.
Yes. Our
Yeah.
screen heroes. He is every
Yeah.
bit as big, by the way.
Yeah.
And totally
I'm tall,
engaging
so
in
you
real
can
life
tell, yeah.
as
Well,
he
I
is
can-
on screen.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a specimen.
he's a
Can't
specimen.
believe I'm saying that. But that's what happens when you're in the presence
I
of a
know.
demigod.
I think I saw someone quote. I mean, it was probably Kevin Feige who just said, Chris Hemsworth is Thor. There's no one else.
I don't think.
Can
Yeah,
you
I don't
picture
think
anyone
that there's
else?
a lot.
I don't
There's
think-
not a lot of blur between those two. They're just
No.
kind of one and the same.
Yeah, very likable.
He
I
doesn't
think
have to get into
Thor
character.
is a little bit more, forceful. Maybe he's loosening up a little bit, but I don't think
Well-
Chris Hemsworth orders people around.
No, Thor doesn't really want to be in charge because he doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
He's too. And there's actually one of my favorite things about the Marvel movies, period, is just seeing Thor in action, in battle, like watching him throw that thing around. There's a few things, and I won't give anything away, but like he doesn't always, Mjolnir is so much at his command that he doesn't even have to like hurl it really hard. So he can just kind of like gently toss it in the direction, and it will do its
See
thing.
that? I mean, they're, and actually Cap Shield and Thor's
This is
hammer. They make
a
things
great
very
one,
interesting in
too.
an action scene.
They do. Yeah, speaking of the Chris's together,
Yes.
those two work together very well in combat.
Yeah.
They have got it. They've got a few tricks figured out.
Yeah.
Some things we'll see in this movie for the first time.
Every once in a while I get into like a nerdy complaint mode where Thor and Loki and, maybe even the Guardians, but not really. Thor and Loki, they're demigods, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's very fair because the demigod trumps everything, right? They shouldn't, I don't know if
Well, we did see Hulk one time have
Oh,
his
you're
way.
right.
I mean, they can be
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
They can be
Yeah.
slowed down, right? They can be
Yeah.
injured.
But they have an advantage a lot of times.
Killing them would be difficult. It
Yeah.
would require, you need an Infinity Stone to do that.
Oh, those
If we're
Infinity
gonna get really nerdy.
Stones. Those Infinity Stones.
The other thing is the Infinity Stone build-up
Yeah.
throughout the cinematic universe so far has been very coy, almost, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They've
'Cause
been.
they haven't explained it really.
Yeah, they haven't really hit it on the nose yet and been like, okay, here's what we're working up to.
Yeah.
We're saving that,
Yeah.
right? We'll hang on to that.
Yeah.
I mean, in Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously we got a bit of an explanation, but clearly things are building towards a huge conclusion. And one of the things I like about this movie in particular, even though this movie is sort of intermediate between Avengers and then the conclusion, it's definitely its own thing.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, they have got something to deal with here that is not just a transitionary period.
no.
This is not a setup movie. There's a lot of setup going on,
Yes.
as there should be.
Yes.
And Marvel fans have learned how to sort of revel in the setting up as opposed to like, oh, great, this is just going to be for a sequel. We love that stuff.
Well, there's lovely little Easter eggs. You were talking about how, being a fan of comics from early on, there's little Easter eggs in there. I think there's a scene with Ultron that's a nod to the Crimson Cowl.
That's right.
There's little tints. Those are, non-spoilery things. We talked about, with Chadwick, there's a mention of Wakanda, the Black Panther, little Easter egg. So they're so layered. The fact that they're telling their own story while servicing the films that have come before and those that are coming after. I mean, it's a huge, huge undertaking. And
There's also some character transitions in the characters that we know and love very well. I mean, there's some beats in the film that will leave you wondering
yes,
what's going to happen. Where are we going with this? Exactly.
Or
I wouldn't say cliffhanger stuff. I just think just very subtle character beats that are going to make you go, huh, okay.
Yes.
Let's see where this takes us.
Yeah. Well, and then there's there may or may not be some romantic entanglements.
Oh my gosh. Is there
I love
kissing in this
a
movie?
good.
Oh, man.
Is there kissing?
Really?
There might be like a smooch here.
The
or
9-year-old
there.
in me just doesn't want. Just
Right.
tell me when the kissing is
Little
over.
smooches. That might
Yeah.
be it. But it's fun. Now you're gonna wonder who it is. Although I think people have spoiled that anyway. We
Indeed.
won't. We'll let you guys watch it to find
We
out.
are still seeing plenty of folks come in.
Yeah,
to
actually,
this
Scarlett
red carpet.
Johansson is right next to us now, so we'll see
Oh,
if
there
we can
she
get
is.
Ms. Black Widow to come
right.
and stop
That would make
by.
my night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My night is pretty much already made just by being here, but having the Black
and
Widow
the
on our
Chris's
stage.
standing next to him.
Indeed. Indeed. I wonder if any point on this crazy assemblage they'll assemble on stage, right? Inside
Yes.
at some point?
Well, they do. Marvel, if you guys have Marvel fans like us, at the end of all their world premieres, they do a cast photo moment right before the movie starts. So.
We saw them at the press conference at the junket on
Yeah.
Friday. They were sitting all in a row on stage,
Yeah.
which was fun. It's always interesting to sort of look at how they place them on stage and What does that mean exactly? Because it's always Downey in the middle,
That's
flanked
smart.
flanked by the Chris's.
Yeah.
And then, it's like a wedding table situation. You've got to get the politics just right. You got to
Yeah.
make sure people get along or sitting next to each other.
Well, speaking of that press conference, I wasn't there, but a friend of mine was, and I heard that Downey was whispering little sweet nothings or random commentary into reporters' tape recorders that taped over the actual answers of what they were trying to say. I'm dying to know what he was saying.
Robert
but-
Downey Jr. being subversive and
Oh.
prankstery?
Yeah.
What?
Shocking.
What have they done with him?
Yeah.
Speaking of, we still haven't seen him yet, and we know this
Oh,
because
yeah,
the
I see him.
screaming has not.
You
Oh, you see him?
He's right there with his lovely wife.
Oh, he sure is.
Yes. Yeah, there's the screams.
There he is.
Oh, he is popular.
Those are the screams I was talking about. We have finally gotten an Iron Man
Sorry, I
sighting.
was just making sure Scarlett didn't pass us by.
It's entirely
think
possible.
she-
The
I
Black Widow
know.
is wily like
She
that.
really is. She
We're
might have
also
snuck
running
by.
low on time. They're going to get this screening going
Yeah.
here very shortly. I mean, these things always start late. The red
Yes.
carpet is the reason that it starts late.
Absolutely.
And, if we're lucky, we'll get to talk to everybody we want to talk
Yeah.
to. But if not, my goodness, we've had so many up here so far. It boggles the mind.
I know. I'm so pleased. I mean, I'm not gonna pick a favorite because I like them all individually, but
I'm going to pick a favorite. My favorite from this movie is the Vision. I
Yeah.
just love the way he looks.
Yeah.
I love to see him in action.
Yeah.
I love the sort of original birth. I love the origin story within
nice.
a film that's so far away from the origin stories at this point.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of this movie in
Okay.
particular.
If you're gonna pick a favorite of the movie, I was not gonna pick a favorite person, but
yeah. Oh, we're gonna pick a
I guess
favorite
I could do
Avenger?
that too. But I love Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I think she demoed a little bit with her hands of how she does the movement, but with the visual effects, it's so fun to watch.
When
the
she
crimson,
showed us
the scarlet out of her
Can I do
fingers,
that?
the mind trip she sends all the characters on. It's very cool. They did it very well. Yeah.
They did, and she's a super important character, especially
Yeah.
again as our villains go from, little more smashy level and invading army level up to reality bending, omnipotent, omniscient, able to control virtually anything around them.
Yeah.
The stakes will be raised in Infinity Wars. They're already raised in Ultron. They're going to need somebody like the Scarlet Witch around.
Definitely. Yeah, she's
They can't just
powerful.
you can't just throw hammers at Thanos, or tumble and block his blast with your shield. You got to have a little bit more going on. You got to have a little more cunning going on if you're going to
Just
defeat
throw
the Mad
hammers
Titan.
at Thanos. I hope they do. The hammer will be thrown at Thanos, I'm sure.
But that's one of the greatest things about the Marvel movies, and I think this film in particular does it extremely well, is playing all the different powers off of one another.
Very good point.
That's like rock, paper, scissors going. It's like, Thor can smash and fly, but Scarlet Witch can get into his head. But, in Quicksilver's super fast, but he's, not necessarily super strong. I just think the way that all those powers are in balance and the way that they're played off of one another and in the way that they're tied in with their dynamics as characters is one of the best things about these movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's choreographed. It has to be down to a science with the fight sequences and things, but there's an end battle sequence, as there usually are.
The boss battle.
But yeah, the different powers and different streams of things going off at the same time was so wonderful to watch.
And the way that they work together.
Yeah, I can't imagine what would have been for the visual effects department trying to isolate those shots, but that's what they're paid to do.
I
It's
was
fascinating.
talking with Joss about that boss battle scene on Friday. And he says that they have enormous whiteboards, spreadsheets, his own notes, that every little, obviously it's all very planned out, but when you see how symphonic and how well balanced that final boss battle is, it won't be it won't be the last time you see it because you're going to want to see it again.
Very true. That's when you said you want to see this 4 or 5 times. And watching it on half speed would be probably the best way to watch it. It's so great.
Yeah, when that home video comes out, there's going to be a lot of screenshots. Let's just put it that way.
A lot of GIFs.
A lot of GIFs.
A lot of GIFs made, like that opening sequence. I think we are winding down-ish as most of the guests and the stars have made their way into the theater.
The red carpet is starting to clear out. There's music starting behind us at the Dolby Theater.
Yes.
We are running out of Avengers, as we've been through just about all of them at this point. We still have some folks here, so we're hopeful that we might get at least one more star of the film up here for the Mashable live stream, which so far, I don't know, this has been fun.
The
I'm
best.
having fun.
Yeah.
I was nervous about that, but there was no
This is a
reason.
great way to spend a Monday night.
Indeed.
Easy. Oh, we might get a shot of Mr. Robert
Yep.
Downey Jr. walking
Don't
in.
think we're going to get to talk to Iron Man. A bunch of us are going to miss out because they're going in, but here he goes, folks. He's walking past right now. Oh, I'm going to duck. You can see.
Yeah.
There he goes.
And we'll pop back
They're
out.
going
Did you
in.
catch him? I hope you catch him. He's lovely. He's so good to his fans.
He is. Listen, I mean, we're not the only outlet he didn't get to talk to. I didn't get to talk to virtually anyone because he was spending so much time mugging to these people out here who are really the only ones who he cares about.
Yeah.
And he genuinely loves playing Tony Stark. How much longer is he going to do it?
That's a question for Kevin Feige also.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a question for Kevin Feige. If he were to make an appearance, but
We have little moths bothering us. They want to be a part of the live stream also.
that's right.
But yeah, I mean,
bugs coming in now.
I don't know what else there is for us to say. I'm still so excited to see this movie again and again. The action sequences, just to dissect, are worth watching a zillion times. Some of the Easter eggs and how they're setting up Civil War, and the next Thor movie and where Hulk ends up. I mean, they answer a lot of questions and then ask a whole bunch more. So
Chance of Robert
Yeah.
going up behind us. I wonder who that could be for.
Yeah.
And like I said, we saw the movie, but did we see the finished movie?
Yeah.
What is the surprise going to be? I heard a lot of stuff going around.
I would love. There should
about
be another
potential. Yeah, I think there's. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one more thing to learn about this, and probably I don't even think they're going to see it in here tonight.
Probably
if there was
not.
going to be a surprise,
Yeah.
it will come when you guys get a first chance to see the movie, which
It's
will be
fair.
on May 1st.
Yeah.
If you don't have your tickets already, you're screwed because they're sold out.
Just for opening weekend.
But maybe you can see it May 4th.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you to see this other Disney movie. Or who knows? I mean, if you're lucky, you'll see it in the first week at all. What is your over-under number on the box office, by the way,
Oh
opening
my
weekend?
gosh, I'm terrible at box office predictions.
I'm
mean,
really good at it.
100.
$215 million.
You think open weekend? Is
$215
that's
million.
international and domestic, or just
US.
domestic?
Just domestic.
Woo!
That's
you heard
right.
him. 200.
You heard it here first. $215
I'll say
million
170,
US.
175. But yeah.
All right.
Anyway, those cheers you hear are everyone cheering the end of this red carpet, and we're waving goodbye.
That is going to be it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on the Mashable live stream of the Avengers Age of Ultron world premiere. Kara Warner, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much
Thank you for
fun.
having me. It's been great.
We hope to be back very soon. We're going to be doing this with other movies, so look for it. Stick around with us. Until next time, I'm Josh Dickey for Mashable. Take care,
Warner.
everybody.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Avengers Assemble. Let's go see this movie.